All over this unhappy globe, there are heroic volunteers putting up a selfless battle on behalf of the wretched of the earth. But only one of these is considered to have invisible means of support, to be nothing less than a saint. What makes Teresa of Calcutta so divine? Mother Teresa's flagship institution is her home for the dying, a hospice which purportedly sweetens the last moments of otherwise destitute lives.
My initial impression was of all the photographs and footage I've ever seen of Belsen and places like that, because all the patients had shaved heads. There are no chairs anywhere, there are just these stretcher beds, and they're like First World War stretcher beds. There's no garden, no yard even, no nothing. And I thought, what is this? This is 2 rooms with 50 to 60 men in one, 50 to 60 women in another. They're dying. They're not being given a great deal of medical care. They're not being given painkillers really beyond aspirin and maybe, if you're lucky, some Brufen or something for the sort of pain that goes with terminal cancer and the things that they were dying of. And I thought, what's the point?
Right from the very beginning, I wanted to serve the poor purely for the love of God, and to give them what the rich people get with money. I wanted to give to the poor for the love of God.
They didn't have enough drips. The needles they used and reused over and over and over, and you would see some of the nuns rinsing needles under the cold water tap. And I asked one of them why she was doing it. And she said, well, to clean it. And I said, yes, but why are you not sterilizing it? Why are you not boiling water and sterilizing your needles? She says, there's no point. There's no time.
Mother Teresa's cult of death and suffering depends for its effect on the most vulnerable and helpless, abandoned babies, say, or the terminally ill, who supply the occasions for charity and the raw material for demonstrations of compassion.
The first day I was there, when I'd finished working in the women's ward, I went and waited on the edge of the men's ward for my boyfriend, who was looking after a boy of 15 who was dying, and an American doctor told me that she had been trying to treat this boy and that he had a really relatively simple kidney complaint that had simply got worse and worse and worse because he hadn't had antibiotics, and he actually needed an operation. I don't recall what the problem was. She did tell me. And she was so angry, but also very resigned, which so many people become in that situation. She said, well, they won't take him to hospital. And I said, why? All you have to do is get a cab, take him to the nearest hospital, demand that he has treatment, get him an operation. She said, they don't do it. They won't do it. If they do it for one, they do it for everybody. And I thought, but this kid's 15.
The Teresa cult is now a missionary multinational, with annual turnover in the tens of millions. If concentrated in Calcutta, that could certainly support a large hospital, and perhaps even make a noticeable difference. But Mother Teresa has chosen instead to spread her franchise very thinly. To her, the convent and the catechism matter more than the clinic.
Now we are in 105 countries, and we have 500 convents all around the world, without counting India. Beautiful.
Pero uno de los testimonios que más sombras arrojan sobre su figura proviene de Susan Shields, una ex monja que abandonó en 1989 la Orden de las Misioneras de la Caridad, una gigantesca organización que llegó a tener más de 400 sedes y 3.000 hombres y mujeres en sus filas. La religiosa disidente cuenta que estaba encargada de recibir el dinero de las donaciones que personas de todo el mundo enviaban a la Madre Teresa. Cientos de miles de dólares que se acumulaban en las cuentas bancarias de la orden hasta sumar más de 50 millones. Estos fondos que la gente donaba para ayudar a paliar el hambre en África, para víctimas de inundaciones en la India y otras causas, no se utilizaban para construir hospitales ni centros de salud, sino para abrir más sucursales de las misioneras de la caridad. Es que las ideas de la Madre Teresa eran casi medievales. El dinero recibido era para ella una señal de la aprobación divina de su trabajo y el sufrimiento de aquellos moribundos y menesterosos que iban a parar a sus hogares, verdaderos morideros, algo necesario y querido por Dios, y nada había que hacer para aliviarlo o suprimirlo. Todo lo demás era superfluo. La misma política era aplicada con las monjas de su orden. La ropa, incluyendo las sábanas de los moribundos y enfermos que alojaban, debían lavarse a mano y el aseo personal se hacía con un solo balde de agua. Los chequeos médicos y dentales eran considerados un lujo innecesario. Pobreza, resignación y estoicismo, esos eran los ideales de la Madre Teresa. En los muros de uno de sus hogares en Calcuta se puede leer: hoy día yo voy al cielo. Con ese mismo criterio condenó todo proyecto que apuntara a luchar contra la injusticia en la tierra, como la teología de la liberación y los movimientos surgidos del Concilio Vaticano II. En el discurso que pronunció al recibir el Premio Nobel de la Paz, dijo que el principal peligro que amenazaba la paz mundial por entonces era el aborto. Otra frase resume su postura: hay algo muy hermoso en ver a los pobres aceptar su suerte, sufrirla como la pasión de Cristo. El mundo gana mucho con el sufrimiento.